Welcome back to Plot Twist, my new Excel chart series where we elevate boring data into next level charts. In today's episode, we'll learn how to take Excel bar charts up a notch by creating a radial bar chart. Let's get started. A radial bar chart is a circular version of a bar chart created by layering a donut chart. This is a fun way to elevate a typical bar chart and compare values visually. For example, here we have each region's percent that they are to plan, along with the amount remaining they have left to go, and we need to visualize this data. This is a perfect opportunity for a radial bar chart. To create a radial bar chart, first we need to insert a stacked donut chart by selecting the data, navigating to the Insert tab, opening the Pie or Donut Chart dropdown, and selecting More Pie Charts. Now just select the donut chart icon to view more donut charts, and choose the Stacked Donut Chart. Hit OK, and we've successfully created the base for our radial bar chart. Now it's time to add some formatting. First things first, I like to clean up the chart a little bit by deleting the title and the chart legend by selecting each of them in the chart and hitting the delete key. Next, I like to remove the chart's border to give it an embedded look in the worksheet by navigating to the Format tab, opening the Shape Outline dropdown, and selecting No Outline. Next, let's format each data series in our chart by right-clicking any donut, selecting Format Data Series, and then setting the donut hole size to 25% to thicken each donut in the chart. Now we need to remove the fill color for the percent left portion of each donut, so that we can only see the percent completed portion. To do this, select the percent left portion of the first donut. Be careful when you do this because you need to click twice to select just the percent left portion, and then click the format icon and select No Fill under the Fill section. Repeat this for the remaining donuts in the chart by selecting each percent left portion and setting it equal to No Fill. I'm going to speed this up for the sake of time, but once you're finished, you should just be able to see the percent to plan portion for each donut. Last but not least, we need to format the percent to plan portion by updating the fill colors to whatever we'd like. I personally like to start with a light color on the outside and work my way into a darker color on the inside of each donut to give the radial bar chart an ombre look. So I'm going to go ahead and select the first percent to plan portion of the first donut, open the fill color dropdown, and select the lightest shade of this blue. Next, we need to repeat this for the next donut by selecting the percent to plan portion in the chart, opening the color dropdown, and this time selecting the next darkest shade of the blue. Repeat this again for the third donut by selecting it in the chart, opening the color dropdown, and selecting the third darkest shade. Now onto the fourth donut by selecting it in the chart and choosing the fourth shade of blue. And finally, update the last donut to the darkest shade of blue. Okay, this is looking pretty good. One last step I like to do is add data labels to each donut in the chart so that it's clear which donut represents which region. To add a data label, just select the chart, navigate to the Insert tab, select Text Box, and insert a text box into the chart by clicking and dragging. Once the text box is created, set it equal to the first region by selecting the formula bar, entering an equal sign, and selecting the region name in the data table. Now just reposition the label so that it's aligned with the start of the first donut, and then bold the text to make it stand out within the chart. Now that we've created the first label, we can duplicate it and update the cell it's referencing to quickly create the remaining labels. So I'm going to select the label, press Ctrl D to duplicate it, then just update the cell it's referencing in the formula bar from cell B7 to cell B6. Reposition the label so that it's aligned with the donut, bold the text, and the next label is complete. Repeat this for the remaining 3 labels, and your radial bar chart is ready to go. Are you team bar chart or radial bar chart? Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications to stay up to date with Plot Twist.